This ain't your ordinary football show. It's the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder. Brought to you by Priority Automotive.
Following their 24-point loss to Villanova at home, it was gut check time for the Old Dominion Monarchs. A player-only meeting ended with the challenge to stand up and play like a team. The result was a win at Towson last weekend, propelling the Monarchs back up to 6th in the nation with their playoff hopes very much alive. But tomorrow, it's back home against 20th-ranked Delaware. What should we expect? Let's find out. The Old Dominion Football Show starts now. I'm Bruce Rader along with head coach Bobby Wilder. After a great week of practice, coach, the Monarchs jumped on top of Towson early. A game where you really had to win, and I say for the first time this season, your defense was outstanding.
Yeah, they really were, Bruce. I was so excited with their performance. And you think about only allowing 6 points in the first half to a Towson team who had played well down at LSU. Good football team, preseason #1. And the start of this game, Bruce, was critical. The fact we took the opening drive, kicked a field goal, our first kickoff, we get the turnover and score to go up 10-0. We ran 17 plays before they ran a play on offense. This was the start we needed.
All right, let's take a look at that. As you mentioned, you went ahead and you took the kickoff, and then you kicked a field goal, and then on the ensuing kickoff, look at this play where you just bashed into the returner and he fumbled. That was a big play.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That was really the key, Bruce, to that part of the start. It was Fred Krettel from Deep Creek who comes down, makes a huge hit on the returner, knocks the ball loose. Malik Jackson recovers the football, and that gives us the ball on their 22-yard line. And then we go 4 plays, 22 yards. Taylor throws a touchdown pass to Antonio Vaughn to put us up 10-0. The start could not have been any better.
Now, Old Dominion is known for its offense, which didn't look that great against Villanova. And even though you racked up over 400 yards and 31 points against Towson, you didn't look very happy.
No, I wasn't happy, Bruce. And this is 2 weeks in a row we haven't been as consistent on offense. And as Brian Scott, our offensive coordinator, put it to our offense, collectively said it's a lack of execution right now, Bruce. This was a game where against Towson, we could have had 600 yards. We could have had 50 points. We were only 4 for 6, Bruce, in the red zone, which is very unlike us. We had a missed field goal, a short missed field goal, and we had an interception. So and one of the other drives ended with a field goal, so we felt like we left a lot of points and yards out there. We've really focused hard this week in practice on execution on offense. We need to get back to where we were in those first 5 weeks.
All right, normally a team is supposed to play better at home. You guys seem to, though, be more focused when you're playing on the road. I mean, is there just too much going on at SB Ballard Stadium on Saturday?
That's a great question. You know, you love what we have for a home atmosphere, and I certainly don't want to put any of the focus on that. The fact is we're 3-1 at home right now, and we're 1-1 against nationally ranked New Hampshire and nationally ranked Villanova. And what really bothered me, Bruce, is going into that homecoming game, we weren't as focused. So we've talked about as a football team this week what we need to do differently in our approach at home, because we certainly don't want to come out and have a performance against Delaware like we had against Villanova. And what the players really feel like it breaks down to just being more focused before the game and feeding off the energy of the 12th Monarchs, something we can do better at.
Well, it's supposed to help. Now, tomorrow you play Delaware. They scored 47 points against Rhode Island last week, 3 touchdowns by their All-American running back, Andrew Pierce. He's good.
He is. He's really good, Bruce. You mentioned preseason All-American, first-team All-Conference in the league. He'll be a focal point for us this weekend. All
right, we'll keep an eye on him. Now, one of the reasons Old Dominion has had such a prolific offense is the play of their offensive line, led by the old man, Robbie Duncan. Chris Reckling visits with the senior from Sterling, Virginia.
They don't get the credit they deserve and are affectionately called the Big Uglies, but an offense would be stuck in the mud without linemen. Talk respect to ODU right guard Robbie Duncan, and he's quick to point out that
we don't need the glory. We take pride in doing what we do. We take pride in the results. As long as we block and keep the quarterback on his feet and open the holes for the running backs, and that's all we care about.
Duncan is a fifth-year senior from Northern Virginia. He's been a part of the ODU program since day one. Like his fellow line mates, it's his job to open holes for the running game and protect quarterback Taylor Heineke.
If I'm not doing my job, Taylor's either on the ground, getting hurt. It's very important. I take a lot of pride in that.
Duncan has a special place in his heart for this weekend's Oyster Bowl matchup with Delaware and the Shriners who make it happen.
I had a cousin a couple years back that got severely burned from a telephone wire, and the Shriners helped pay for the treatments and everything he needed to get better. And they're sponsoring the Oyster Bowl.
After graduation, Robbie Duncan wants to go into voice acting. You see, he does impersonations. So Robbie, can you do Bobby Wilder for me?
Well, that's a great question, Chris. I like to try to be, as good as I can, make the team aim high and play fast and physical. We like to thank the 12th Monarchs for coming out today. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Come in this Saturday.
In Norfolk, Chris Reckling reporting for the Old Dominion Football Show.
All right, he's in trouble, Bruce.
I was just going to say, or he may be a coach in the future.
That was great.
All right, National Honor Society, great
he's a
kid.
piece of work.
How do you replace a Robbie Duncan next year?
Oh, you really don't. He's been with us since the start, Bruce. He's, I'm still laughing because that's Robbie.
No, that's you.
That's me. He's a team comedian, and he's just such a good person. He's a good student. Family's been involved right since the start. I'm really proud of him. He's going to be successful in life no matter what he does.
All right, Coach. Still to come, senior Jonathan Plisco takes a break from punting the ball by entering the 1-minute drill with Ali Lucia. Plus, Coach Wilder gives us his priorities in the game for tomorrow's contest against Delaware. We'll be right back. Welcome back. For the third time in his career, senior Jonathan Plisco dares to enter the 1-minute drill for the last time.
The last time.
I feel like you're a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm not so good in front of the camera, but I can work with it.
Have you been working on yoga in the off season?
I actually have. I do hot yoga over there somewhere. Do yoga a lot. It's helped a lot.
Favorite pose?
That's a great question because I really don't know the names. I just kind of follow the leader.
Is this your first off season doing it?
Yes, I took a class last year, and now I've actually, doing it regularly in the off season.
What is it that Monarch fans don't know about you?
That's a great question. I like to play golf in my spare time.
Over here on campus, or what's your favorite course in the area?
Lambert Point, it's always fun. It's just right. Literally, I can walk out of my house and walk over to the course.
Favorite meal to eat after a game?
I'd have to say nice pizza.
And you're a local guy, so were you beach, pool? Where do you like to go to get some sun?
Definitely the beach, Virginia Beach. Lay out, 70th Street, away from all the tourists. But just lay out, relax. Goodbye.
Hate to hear him say goodbye. How important has Jonathan been to the historic start of the Old Dominion program?
Oh, he's been absolutely critical, Bruce, particularly early in the start of our program when we were punting the ball a lot. Early on, we were punting 6-7 times a game, and I'll never forget that first game against Chowan, the fans' reaction to seeing how high and far the ball went off his foot. I mean, this young man's averaged over 45 yards a punt his entire career. He's been a very critical part of the start of Old Dominion football.
All right, still to come, Coach answers your questions in the Coach's Corners, and we get his priorities of the game for tomorrow's contest against Delaware. Some big news this week. You've added another FBS team to the schedule for next season, Idaho, November 9th, along with Maryland and North Carolina. You also play Rhode Island. You have Norfolk State, UNC Charlotte. The schedule's starting to fill up.
Yeah, really excited with the work that Bruce Stewart, our Associate Athletic Director, and Wood Seelig, our Athletic Director, have done with the schedule. Bruce, I had mentioned when we made this move back on May 17th, if we could, we'd like to play 12 games, roughly 6 FBS, 6 FCS, because we're going to be in between. We're between FCS and FBS with our scholarships and our transition, and now we've got 3 FBS, 2 of them local, traveling to Maryland and North Carolina, and then 3 FCS teams. So we're right there. We're 3-3. Hopefully we can add 6 more games and have a schedule filled with some regional teams that our fans will be interested in.
We'll talk more about that as the season goes on. It's time to turn it over to the fans. It's time for the Coach's Corner. And Coach, let's start it off with Brad from Virginia Beach, who says, I'm a graduate of the United States Naval Academy and would love to see a series between the midshipmen and the Monarchs. Any chance of that happening?
There's definitely a chance of that happening, Brad. That's something we're all committed to doing with such a strong presence, Bruce, as you know, in the region with the military, with our naval. We'd like to do that. We're committed, Bruce, to playing regional teams. We want to play Virginia, Virginia Tech, North Carolina State, Duke, Wake Forest, Maryland, and the Naval Academy. I think that's something we're going to see in the near future. Thanks for the question.
Raphael in Norfolk asks, are there any seniors on this team that you think could be playing on Sundays next year?
Yeah, there are some very talented seniors. The scouts, we had a couple in again this week, Bruce. They've been looking at Craig Wilkins, Chris Burnett predominantly, but they're also looking at some of our other seniors like Jonathan Plisco, Carvin Powell, a number of our seniors. Remember, last year now, Thomas DeMarco wasn't on anybody's radar. He's playing up in Canada right now. So I think a lot of our guys are going to get a good look again. The reputation of the program is growing. Thanks for the question.
A lot of talented young players. And our final question from Dennis E. in Virginia Beach, who wants to know, is the rumor true that you will be playing quarterback in the Charity Bowl game at Princess Anne High School on Friday, November 30th?
The rumor is true. I'm hoping my good friend Bruce Rader will be the left end, starting left end, so I can throw it deep to him down the sideline. But I am committed to playing in this game unless we're in the playoffs and I'm not in town. My good friend Dennis Elmer is doing so much to try to help people locally that are in need, and I want to play in this game. If it will help raise money, it's for a great cause, and I'm hoping to loosen up the arm and throw a couple down the field. Thanks for the question.
So come and watch Bobby Wilder play quarterback. It's been a long time, but I have a feeling
now
he
Bruce
still
Smith
has
isn't
it.
rushing the passer in that game, is
No,
he?
he's not. He's on his way to London.
Okay.
Time for the priorities of the game for tomorrow's contest against Delaware. Coach?
Yeah, the number one thing we need to do, Bruce, is play well at home versus a nationally ranked team. We've had two nationally ranked teams in our house in UNH and Villanova. We haven't played well yet, so that's priority number one. Number two, we've got to contain their All-American running back, Andrew Pierce. He's outstanding. He's one of the best in the nation. And number three, very important to our entire team, help the Shriners, help children. This is the Oyster Bowl. You heard Robbie Duncan earlier in the show talk about a cousin who was injured. The Shriners do so much. We want to help raise money for this cause and awareness. Those are the priorities for this game Saturday.
All right, early game tomorrow. Kickoff is at noon. Bring your raincoats just in case of rain, but I don't think it's going to happen until later in the day.
NBC Sports too, Bruce.
That's
National
right.
television.
On TV, but we want you at the game. The 63rd annual Khedive Shrine Oyster Bowl. We're silver. Oysters will be sold at the game.
That's right.
You guys ready, Coach?
We're fired up, ready to go.
All right, we want to see you play well at home. That's it for tonight. Join us every Friday night at 10:45 for the Old Dominion Football Show. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow at SB Ballard Stadium. Good night, everybody.